Hey everybody, and welcome to Season 13 of Pokemon Go Battle League, where a ton of new moves got buffed and a ton of new moves got nerfed. But today, we're going to be looking at Wing Attack Swellow. Swellow has access to Wing Attack, which its energy generation got increased. Swellow is no means a meta Pokemon, but I did want to try it out rather than Noctowl because I know a lot of people will be covering that and there's no use for me covering that. I might cover it, who knows, but in the meantime, let's take a look at Swellow. Swellow, with a normal flying type, has access to moves like Wing Attack, Sky Attack, and Brave Bird. Swellow has no bulk, has no defense. It's basically like a semi-glass cannon, but it's pretty fun to use with the new Wing Attack buff. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and let's take a look at Wing Attack Swellow in action. So first of all, we're gonna claim our rewards and our 300,000 dust with the star piece on. So if you guys haven't collected your rewards yet, I will highly recommend put it on star piece because any stardust will help for your future investments for the future seasons. Alright, hopping into the first match of the season, we have Swellow versus a Whimsicott. Pretty good lead as long as it's not Charm, and it is Charm. And look at these homos Wing Attacks are doing, and we're already at a Brave Bird and a half a Sky Attack. This is how broken Wing Attack is now. We go for a Sky Attack that does good damage, and we can easily go for another Sky Attack. So we easily force a shield or take out the Quagsire because Swellow has a very high attack stat. Quagsire gets taken out and they bring in a Houndoom. We can just easily bring in our Obstagoon here and we can just go for an Obstruct as basically I want my counters to do basically more damage. Obstagoon going for the Chub grabs the shield and we can easily counter down. My hope, we can just easily let this go because any one move will not take us out there except for Fire Blast. Fire Blast would take us out, and that Foul Play still did a decent chunk of damage even after my defenses has been rose. Whimsicott comes back in, we can just easily Poison Jab down the Charmer, and basically that's a good game. So off to a good start so far. Hopefully you guys, this season is going off well, and I hope to create more content for you guys. Alright, hopping into the second match, we have up against Sizzledoof, a member in the Home Size Henry Discord. So, GGS to you, man. Alright, Swellow versus XL Poplio. I do know this person because I see them in the Discord all the time, running some very spicy mons. Swellow going for a Sky Attack. This will basically get a shield or basically take it out, as Swellow has a really high attack stat. Swellow gonna shield a potential move, whatever it has. Going for an Aqua Tail, that's perfectly fine, and going for another Sky Attack, but I actually overwhelm a bit too much, which allows him to get to another Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail will basically take out my Swellow. As I said before, this thing has basically no bulk. Going for a Brave Bird, I'm hoping this gets a shield. Can this get the shield? It does get shielded, and we can just easily bring in our Goon. Beedrill absolutely gets smacked by those smackdowns, as Dwebble is also part Rock type. Dwebble going for an X-Scissor that does pretty much good chunk of damage, and we can just easily go for a Night Slash. Night Slash will, Obstruct, sorry. Now we can probably go for an Obstruct, but we're one turn short of the Night Slash, and this X-Scissor will easily take us out. That's perfectly fine. Beedrill is basically my win con. I'm hoping I can farm down in time, and let's see what's in the back. Poplio is still pretty healthy. They're bringing the Poplio, and I'm hoping this kills, which it will. That takes it out, and what's in the back? It's an Exo Stuffle in the back. So as you can see, we get completely destroyed by Sizzledoof, so GG's to you, man. And obviously a good friendship interaction, of course. So, alright, hopping into the next match we have. Let's see. Alright. Swellow versus Muck. Pretty okay matchup as long as we shield every Thunder Punch that they have. Look at those Wing Attacks actually generate energy really quickly. Swellow is a bit improved, but its typing and its bulk just makes it seem way worse. Probably in the Great League Remix Club it will have more play, but not in the Open Great League for sure, because a lot of G-Fisks, Ready Steals, and Bastiodons, so that's that. So Swellow goes for a Sky Attack. We do get the shield, and we're going for another Sky Attack. We'll just get the shield. This will basically putting into Wing Attack downrange. Wing Attack downrange, that's perfectly fine. Swellow going for a Swellow taking the Thunder Punch, no problem, and we can just easily Poison Jab down. Beedrill getting a lot of energy and going for a Milo tick right there, and we can just easily go for a Drill Run. and Beedrill will easily get to one more draw on, or we can just do one more poison jab and swap to catch the surf. Surf will basically take out the Beedrill. That's basically why I basically came in with my Obstagoon just to sweep, and they have their own Obstagoon which is running Lick. We can just easily go for an Obstruct right there, and I'm hoping we can just easily go get a shield, which we do. We bait the potential cross chop, and I basically have to let this go. And there is no basically way I can. It's my way, and we can just easily counter down at this point. We can just easily counter down the Milotic, and that's pretty much a good game. So GG's, and Swellow actually putting in some work. Really impressed by it. Alright, hopping into the second match, we have Swellow versus Teddiursa. Really positive lead, as Teddiursa's access to Lick, which is its only viable fast move. They bring in Togedemaru here, and that's too quick to be a Mirror Shot or a Wild Charge, so I will have to let this go. But we do encounter a little bit of lag here, so my guess the opponent probably crashed or they closed their app. That basically did nothing. I probably got a third shield right there, and hopefully we can just easily counter down. But what they do is they basically surrendered the game right there, and that's practically a good game. So unfortunate to my opponent there. Lag is still in this game. There's nothing you can do here. And Swellow against Jirachi. Horrible lead right there, and we gotta swap into our only hard counter, which is Obstagoon. Going for a Obstruct right here. This will probably get a shield, as basically Night Slash do a lot of damage. Basically, just do a lot of damage. We can just easily shield with potential Dazzling Gleam because I am sure they build up to it. But they bait with a Doom Desire. That's perfectly fine, and they bring in a spicy Mon Spiritomb. Spiritomb that goes in Dark type, has no good fast moves, has good charge moves, but it's basically a worse Sableye. Obstagoon going for a Night Slash. This will basically get a shield, or this will do multiple damage because they're debuffed on the defense. I'm hoping we can counter down at this point. We can easily let this go because I'm afraid they have no moves that can threaten Obstagoon, and it's just a Shadow Ball. We can just easily counter down. They forfeit the match again, and that's a good game. Alright, hopping into the next match, we have Swellow versus Golbat. Golbat definitely outbulks in terms of bulkiness, as Swellow is taking more wing attack damage than we're doing to them with our wing attacks. Swellow can easily tank any one move, which is a Poison Fang, even though Poison Fang still does a lot. Poison Fang, another move that got nerfed in the new season, so we'll have to check it out later. Swellow going for a Sky Attack. I'm hoping we can easily get to our Sky Attack, which we can. I'm hoping this will get a shield, or we can easily take Switch, which we do. Golbat goes down, and we are able to take Switch. Swellow able to take Switch, and they bring in a Machamp. That's perfectly fine. Shadow Beedrill easily can beat Machamp, and we can just easily shield this up because of the Rock Slide, which will basically one-shot us, and we can just easily go for an X-Scissor, this is basically an X-Scissor range. X-Scissor doing a lot of damage right now. Beedrill going for an X-Scissor, that does a lot of damage, and it's a Shadow Grand Bowling back. They forfeit the match. They see the writing on the wall, and that's a good game. So GG's to my opponent right there. Swellow versus Whiscash. Really positively, but they're carrying Water Gun, which is a huge bad. But they swap into a Scyther. This is Swellow's one of the best matchups they can beat any bug type, including in this case, but Scyther's a bug and flying type. Those wing attacks will go to town, and so will Swellow. Swellow can easily shield up a potential any move, and we're going for a Sky Attack, and this is basically a CMP type. This will easily take it out or get the shield. They do decide to let that go, and that's perfectly fine, and we can just easily keep over farming a bit. And this is just only a Mud Bomb because I know I can survive it. This is not enough for a Blizzard or anything, or a Water Pulse, and we can just easily go for a Brave Bird to basically give them less farm. Swellow going for a Brave Bird. Will this land? Yes, it does, and that's perfectly fine. And they have a spicy Excadrill in the back. We can just easily bring in our Obstagoon here, and they're carrying Mudslap. Mudslap doing a lot of damage, but our counters doing more than their Mudslap. Excadrill going for a Rock Slide, and that's basically a good game. So GG's to my opponent right there. Alright, hopping into the next match, we have Swellow versus Politoed. pretty much, this is a decent matchup as long as we're able to call the Blizzard, and I'm afraid they can go straight Weather Ball here, but they're overfarming a bunch right there because I know they're over the Weather Ball by like 2 or 3. Swellow goes for a Brave Bird, and that basically gets shield, so I basically have to swap it right here, as basically one Weather Ball will basically take me out there. Obstagoon able to shield up the Weather Ball for a potential Blizzard, but they actually bait with the Weather Ball. That's perfectly fine, and I can let this go. But it's actually a Blizzard that does a ton of damage right there, and I'm hoping I can kill the Politoed and let my Swellow not see this. Obstacle going for a nice slash, and I can't really shield this because I'll be down shields. I'll be down to shield, and they'll have shield advantage. That's perfectly fine. I can just easily come in with Swellow, but they're able to get to a move. That's perfectly fine, and I have to basically have to let this go and see what's in the back. Swellow can easily tank that Weather Ball, no problem. And it is a Mandibus in back, and that's perfectly fine as we do have an energy lead on our Swellow. We just have to basically throw on good timing and throw the Sky attacks, and we can just easily go for another Sky attack right there, and I'm hoping we can just Swellow goes for a Sky attack, and that's perfectly okay. And I'm hoping we get to one more Sky attack. We do not. We basically had to let this go and rely on our Beedrill, because shielding right there might be a potential lose con right there, and I don't want that. Beedrill farming up a bunch right here. I have to shield a potential aerial ace, but they bait with the foul play right there. That's perfectly smart play on their part, and I just have to keep overrunning a bunch for a potential back Pokemon that may be weak to Beedrill. They go for an aerial ace that puts me into the red, and I'm hoping I can farm down. Can I farm down the Mandibuzz? We can, and what's in the back? It is a Ferrothorn. We can practically win this if we manage our energy well. We throw a Juron, we keep overwhelming a bunch right there. Poison Jabs are doing really good damage. We're able to get to another Juron, throwing on good timing, not on throwing on alignment, and right there. And Beedrill is able to have a Juron and an X Scissor with good energy management. This will take out the Ferrothorn, and that is pretty much a good game. So GG to my opponent right there. Alright, hopping into the last match of the video, we have Swellow versus Obstagoon. We do have two better responses in the back, and that's perfectly fine. And they bring in a Bronzer. That's a really good counter to Beedrill right there. My hope is that I can probably get to 2 Drons or take shield advantage. Hoping we can take shield advantage, but we do wish an last minute X Scissor. That's perfectly fine. I'm hoping we can get a shield or take it out. They do decide to let that go, but they get huge farm on their Obstagoon. As now basically I'm in trouble. As I said earlier, Swellow cannot tank any one move, does not have the greatest thing, so Night Slash do a lot of damage right there. As you can see right there, they have a lot of energy. But now we have to basically start shielding right now, and that's practically a good game, as they can just easy take their shield advantage, but they have their ready stealing back, and even with an obstruct, I don't think there's nothing we can do to win this now. We'll go for an obstruct, and let's try to play this out if we do have a potential win con, or they might potentially to throw the game. I'm hoping we can just go for one more obstruct right here. Obstruct will basically get a shield or do a little chip damage right there, and we're able to get one more counter damage in. I'm hoping we can solve this Focus Blast. But Focus Blast is such a good move, it actually one-shots us, and there is no win con. As basically they can just let the Ready Steel go and let their Obstagoon just kill my Swellow, which they do. That's perfectly fine. And now Overfarm try to get to 2 more Sky attacks, but they actually get to a move right there, as Obstagoon is able to sweep, and that's basically a good game. So GG's to my opponent right there. So all in all, Swellow in the Great League Remix Cup. As I said before, Swellow is definitely improved with the wing attack buff, but it's not matter or anything. It's too glassy, and there's no more flying typing, and its lack of coverage moves, and it basically has all flying moves, which has no coverage against Basti, Stunfisk, all the steel types it doesn't have coverage for. As for Noctowl, has Shadow Ball, which has good coverage against the meta, and Noctowl also got buffed as well, so I expect to see way more Noctowl than Swellow, but I would consider Swellow as a pretty good Spice option, and if you're trying to go for Spice this season and not worry about Legend, this is pretty much a good friend to you. Or in this case, it's a friend to you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video with Swellow, and I hope to create more content for you guys. And until next time, I will see you guys all in the next one.